Money buys everything except what you want. Hey, Paul?
Huh? Oh, yes, monsieur.
Oh, no, you don't. You're my guest. Oh, very generous. Very noble. But not very good business. Like I said, Eddie, you're out of your element. Haven't you heard? They don't give things away in Paris. And the sooner you wise up and come back to the States...
I'll call your cab.
Hey, no, thanks. I'll catch one on the other side of the park. I'm going to take a little walk before I turn in. Thanks for the dinner, Eddie. Good night.
Yeah. Good night. I thought you were a starving artist.
Oh, but I am, monsieur. Oh, I am.
The sooner you get behind that broom and clean this place up, the less hungry you're going to be.
Artist. Empty stomach, empty head. Empty pocket, empty, empty. Why don't you fire him? Or can marry.
Wives.
A merger involving a French firm had promised me the rare and delightful opportunity of combining business with pleasure in Paris. I hadn't visited the city in some time and looked forward to sampling its treasures in the company of Lieutenant Weston, who was there obtaining a briefing on Interpol procedures. My plans, however, were altered upon arrival. My client, Ralph Trindo, was missing.
I see. Well, would you ask the desk to let me know the moment he arrives? Thank you.
Paris is the city for me. Bonjour, Monsieur Maris. Comment ça va?
All that French in 1 week?
Well, you can't say I don't try, Herb. I want the taxpayers of our fair city to get their money's worth. But seriously, Herb, you know, besides our own FBI, I have never seen a more efficient police operation than Interpol. This 2 weeks briefing should really pay off, and you ought to see their cross-file system. It's amazing. Oh, by the way, where's Trindle?
That's what I'd like to know. He checked in yesterday. His baggage and briefcase are in there. Nobody's seen him since.
Well, Herb, this is Paris. A night on the town, a few drinks. Maybe he's sleeping it off somewhere, huh?
Trindle doesn't drink.
Oh.
I've never known him to miss an appointment, business or pleasure, especially one like this morning.
Oh, what's so important about this morning's?
Trindle's here to close a merger deal with a French company. It involves $2.5 million. If he doesn't sign the papers by 5 o'clock this afternoon, his company forfeits $500,000 option money. That's $500,000.
Herb, how would you like to meet Inspector DeWall of the Paris police?
Well, as a precaution, I'll have my men check the people connected with the French company. When there is so much money involved, one can never tell what even the most honest man might do, huh?
Another thing, Inspector. Trindle was in the habit of carrying a great deal of money around with him in his wallet.
Oh.
It's a habit he had. I've warned him about it.
You said quite a bit.
Sometimes as much as $2,000.
Ooh la la. Well, Paris is a good city, but like any other large city, we have our bad types. Let us hope he kept the wallet in his pocket, huh? I'll start my men working on this at once. And, Lieutenant, it would be my pleasure if you would consider working with me on this case, huh?
Inspector, it'll be my pleasure.
Good. I'll call you the minute I obtain any information.
Thank you, Inspector.
Thanks.
Oh, Inspector, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good. Bento, man. Sure, yeah. Still no news of.
I've got a bad feeling about this, John.
Since when have you come to a conclusion based on a feeling? Take it easy, Herb. I'm sure Trindle will show up.
I wish there was something I could do. This sitting around. We only knew who his friends were, who he called.
Trindle's briefcase?
Yeah.
Nothing so far, Herb. Just business papers.
Names and addresses, carbon copy. It's all business. Principals involved in the transaction. I've already called all of them. Guess we're out of luck. Maybe not. I almost missed this. Copy of his schedule. Jurdo, 9 a.m. That's where we were supposed to be this morning. It's the same schedule I've got.
I thought you already contacted those people.
Yeah, but here's something down at the bottom. Carver, Rue Follette. No number, no time.
Is he involved in the business?
No, I've never heard Trindle mention that name before. Carver. Hello? Yes. This is Mr. Maris. Would you check your phone book for the name Carver? C-A-R-V-E-R? Yes, that's right. Rue Follette. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Herb, was it worth anything?
I don't know. It's a cafe. I'm going over. You coming?
No, wait a minute, Herb. Let's not just run off. I'll call the inspector. Let his men take care of this if it's worth anything. They'll find out quickly enough.
And if it isn't, we've wasted his time. It won't hurt to check it out first.
But, Herb, this isn't the States, you know. There's a little thing called language difference.
So this is your chance to see how outrageous my French is.
Oh.
Allons, mon ami.
Carver's Cafe. It doesn't sound very French to me, huh? Parlez-vous anglais?
Oh, American.
Yeah. How do you know that?
Yes, I speak English. A little. You like a table?
No, we'd like to speak to the owner of the cafe.
Oh, Eddie, oui. Suivez-moi. Eddie, some American gentleman to see you.
American? Well, I'm Eddie Carver.
Mr. Carver?
Always glad to see folks from back home.
How do you do?
Incidentally, we have the best food in town, and not at tourist prices.
Well, that's good to know, but we're not interested in food right now, Mr. Carver. We're looking for an American friend of ours, Mr. Trindle.
Ralph Trindle?
That's right.
Well, he's a buddy of mine. He was here last night. What's the matter? Anything wrong? Who are you?
This is Lieutenant Weston. He's with the police back in the States. I'm Herbert Maris, attorney for Ralph Trindle. Simple fact of the matter is, you're the one person we know who's seen Trindle since he left his hotel yesterday morning.
You say you can't find him.
That's right.
Paul, I am not subsidizing your art career. Now get on with your work. These young artists, unless you keep an eye on them, they'll drink you dry and sit around and sketch all day long.
Eddie. Eddie, your lunch is ready.
Darling, this is Mr. Maris and Lieutenant Weston. They're friends of Ralph's.
How are you?
Enchanted.
There seems to be something wrong. They can't find Ralph.
What is it, Mrs. Carver?
Tu ferais mieux de leur dire.
There may be nothing to it. Maybe my wife is right. See, Ralph got into trouble here last night.
What kind of trouble?
He met someone on a private business matter last night. They got into a bad argument, and this guy kind of threatened Ralph.
Who was he?
Well, I don't want to cause anybody any trouble. Besides, this is kind of a personal matter with Ralph.
Mr. Carver. Ralph is missing.
His name is Armand Grenier. You see, after the war, we were stationed here in France. Ralph, well, he married Granier's sister, Annette.
Married?
Oh, that isn't all. About 10 months later, he was transferred back to the United States, and about 2 months after that, she had his child, little girl, Annette died in childbirth. Granier brought the child up.
Do you know why Granier threatened him last night?
Well, you see, Ralph had never seen his daughter, and, well, he's wealthy now and getting older, lonesome man. He wanted to take Christine back to the States with him.
Mr. Carver, what happened after the argument?
Well, Granier left, and Ralph stayed around till closing time. Then he took off. I offered to call him a cab, but he said he'd rather walk.
Do you happen to know where Granier lives?
Yeah, a little farm outside of Paris. A village called Saint-Marie.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don? Yeah? Aren't you ready yet?
Listen, you certainly wouldn't help.
I don't know why it is I have to do all the thinking around here. Saint Marie is 10 kilometers from here.
Yeah, that ought to be it up ahead. I thought we overshot it when we got up the main road back there.
I hope we don't have as much trouble finding Granier's place.
Whenever you're ready. How do you start this thing?
Turn the key.
Oh.
Hello. Is Monsieur Granier here?
Monsieur Granier, ici.
Oh, et papa est dans le garage. Un moment, monsieur. Papa, papa.
You see, Herb, that's all it takes, a little intelligence and French.
Papa, papa.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, mon chéri?
Monsieur.
Oui, messieurs?
Monsieur Granier, parlez-vous anglais?
Yes, I worked with the British during the last war. What is it you want?
I understand you had an appointment with a friend of mine in Paris yesterday. Ralph Trendle, the father of this girl.
Christine, va donc finir ce que tu faisais tout à l'heure. Va, ma petite fille, va.
Oui, papa.
Now, what do you wish?
We suspect something's happened to Mr. Trindle, and well, we thought you might know about it.
I know nothing.
Monsieur, we know that Trindle wanted to take his daughter from you.
She's not his daughter. She's mine. I brought her up.
I understand. I also understand that you had good reason to harm Mr. Trindle.
Trendle. That's all I hear. I hate that name. Pooh, that's what I think of him. You know what he did? He killed my sister. Il a tué ma petite sœur. Une petite sœur que j'adorais, monsieur. He killed her. Now, you two get out of here. The two of you. Mind your business. You're two strangers in a foreign country. Get out. Leave me alone. Get out. I mean, get out. Granier, no correz pas. Don't.
I have no jurisdiction here. Let's get back to Paris. Let the inspector handle this. Herb, did you understand all that he said?
I think he made himself very clear.
It's getting late, Herb.
Please, forgive me for keeping you waiting.
That's all right, Inspector, but we've come up with something we thought you'd better look into immediately.
One moment, Lieutenant. Please sit down.
Inspector, we've learned something very important.
I'll hear you in a moment, but I've just received some news. Bad news. We've found Trindle. I'm sorry, monsieur. He's dead.
Trindle had been knifed to death, and a truck driver was seen dumping the body in a side street alley. When the police picked him up, he denied killing Trindle, claiming he found the body in his truck when he went out on a delivery late that morning.
Well, if He says he has a good job, a family. He does not need to kill or rob.
Then why didn't he go to the police?
Oh, he was frightened about his job. He would lose it if his boss found out that he used the truck last night. He went out to see some friends, and he has no car of his own, huh?
Inspector, where did he visit?
On Rue Montpellier, near Rue Follette, 2 streets from the cafe.
Well, Trindle didn't take a cab. He was well dressed. He could have seen him walking.
What about Trindle's wallet? The money in it?
Well, he could have hidden that easily enough, huh?
What about the people he visited?
Oh, we'll check with them, but it will not help to establish an alibi. He already admits that he went out to his car a few times for some more wine, he says, huh?
Well, Inspector, Grenier could have been waiting outside for Trindle and jumped him when he came out.
He hated Trindle. Blames his sister's death on him. Besides, he was afraid Trindle was going to take the little girl away.
That is possible, but he would have to carry the body to the truck, lift it to put it in, and you say he's an old man, huh?
He's a farmer. He's strong.
Well, it won't hurt to have Grenier brought to headquarters, but I'm not so sure about this one. Allez, filez, huh? Monsieur Maurice, I'm sorry for this tragedy, but I'm sure you will find the murderer, whoever it is.
Well, I better contact the principals involved in the merger and see if I can tie up the rest of Trindle's affairs. I'll be back at the hotel, John. Thank you, Inspector.
Au
Thank you.
revoir.
Herb, I'll be over in about an hour.
Come in, John. The door's open. Be with you in a few minutes. I've been trying to get shaved for the past half hour, but the phone keeps ringing. The attorney for the French company just called. They had a meeting and agreed to extend the option for another 3 months. Gives me a chance to work something out for Trindle's company. When I called them about Trindle, they didn't believe me. They figured it was just some kind of American business trick to prevent the option from being exercised. But they checked with the inspector. Have they picked up Grenier yet? Why not take the wallet as well?
You surprise me, monsieur.
I'd say I caught you.
Caught? Caught? Oh, no, I would not steal. I only wanted to make sure this was your room, Monsieur Maris.
The clerk at the desk could have told you that.
Yes, but maybe you would not want to see me. Besides, this way is more... How do you say in English? Pleasure? Fun?
Well, now that you've had your fun, I'd suggest that you leave. Or should I call the manager?
Oh, Monsieur Maris, you are so impetuous, so American. You're not at all curious about who I am or what I want with you?
You've already given me the answer to that.
But no, I already said I would not steal from you.
All right. What do you want?
That is simple. Paul sent me. He wants to see you.
I'm sorry, I don't know who Paul is.
Paul, the artist. The one with the beard who works at the cafe.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not going anywhere now. If Paul wants to see me, he'll have to come here.
But it is important.
What I'm doing is important, too. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Trindle's wallet?
Where did you get that?
Aha, so now you are curious.
Now, this is important. Who gave you that?
To know the answer to that, you must come with me to Paul and bring $500 in cash.
Oh, now, really?
Oh, it is no trick, monsieur. It is business. The report of Monsieur Trindle's death is already in the evening newspapers. Paul knows who killed him. Monsieur Maris, you will tell no one about this, or you will learn nothing.
Hello?
Herb, I was just about to come over, but something came up. Grenier and the girl are gone. They probably took off right after we left.
Well, that's nice, John. I'm glad to hear it.
Wait a minute, Herb. Don't you realize what this means? Grenier is running away, showing his hand. He's a killer.
Your French is really outrageous, John. I suggest you stick to English.
Herb, are you in some kind of trouble?
You're so right. Now, that's what I call English.
I'll tell the inspector we'll get over there right away.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I won't be in. But I hope we all get together soon. Goodbye.
Where do we go to meet Paul?
The $500, monsieur?
I'll have to go downstairs to cash a check. As you already know, I don't carry that much money around with me.
It will be money well spent, monsieur. It is for justice and art. Paul's art. You may cash it, monsieur.
Thank you.
Here we are. This way, monsieur.
D'accord.
We are here, Monsieur Maris.
I must say, I don't feel secure.
Well, who does, monsieur? We live from day to day.
Where did you get Trindle's wallet?
Oh. First, the money.
How do I know you're telling me the truth? You could have killed him yourself. You seem very hungry for money.
Oh, no, monsieur, I would not kill for money. But I know wood. And I have the knife which killed the Trindle.
Écoutez-moi. See if you can get to the road. I'll meet you there. Compris?
Oui.
It's all right, miss. You okay, Herb? We got him!
Emmenez ce homme-là, hein?
Paul!
Albert, I thought you and Trindle were buddies. I don't get it.
Buddies. I should have killed him a long time ago. All I asked him for was a small loan. I was about to lose my cafe. He said it was money down the drain. Oh, he ridiculed me. Everything came easy to Trindle. Money, success. He wouldn't loan me a measly $3,000.
Well, if it's any consolation, where you're going, you won't need it.
I don't know.
Herb, I think you're going to need this.
Where's the message I wrote on?
Oh, you mean that promissory note you gave the cab driver, promising him a $1,000 tip if he brought the police?
1,000. I only offered him 100.
Do you have a carbon copy? Herb, I think you're about to indulge in a very popular continental sport. They call it bargaining.
Yeah, I've just been exposed to it. It cost me 500. I hate to think what I'm going to get for 1,000.
Well, Monsieur Marius, shall we say, what do they call it in France? An evening on the town, oui?
Oui. I only wish I had something to celebrate.
But, monsieur, you have.